makes sense to you here. Just kind of hand hold this for a minute. I'm starting this off, and I'm putting a rectangular shape as an isometric piece to put the ellipse in. So if I find the centers just by crossing the diagonal line and extend this to the vertical and put a point, and the same direction, this direction, going in the width, it gives me 4 points. And the diagonal line between the corner and the center, if you can visually divide that into thirds, it gives you this corner point. So if I look at this one, just divide it. So here's 1, 2, 3, just keep that point. Then now I have this part that makes a hexagon, and it helps me draw the elliptical shape in there. So once I get that, I can just freehand draw this in there with these curves, and that helps me make that piece. So at least for one of the edges of this cylinder, I have it set up, and then I'm just going to go keeping these lines parallel and to the tangent of this ellipse, which is right to the edge. And then when you get out to this point, see if you can kind of estimate, this is the major axis, and then try to create that same ellipse on this side. Just keep it real simple. Okay, and now the lighting source is coming from the top this time. And if you segmented this off into sections, you can almost wireframe this idea out. So you do have your highlight, quarter tone, half tone, a little bit of a base tone, and the reflected light. So now as you start to shade this, these lines again going with the form. And if a line crosses this way, just showing the hatched line, then you're actually making this shape, which is actually this shape in a larger piece, but it's now the texture of that piece. And then taking a look at how this is shaded here. So if the light source is coming from the top, this edge is going to be a little darker. And again, just kind of bringing that piece in there. So for most purposes, there's like 2 values. The shadow, the cast shadow is going to come this direction. So I'm just putting a little bit of a tone underneath, and I have the shadow overlapping this sphere, so I'm going to keep it dark. So it's going to be dark right at the base. A little bit of the tone of the shadow is going to come to the other side, as you can see in the drawing there. And the base tone I'm just going to heavy up. Like I said before, the shading is just going to blend right into itself. And just gradually make that transition from dark to light. Leave the highlight in there. And this part, the front part of this elliptical shape is going to be dark on the edge. So go ahead and try this. And as the value scale, it kind of goes dark to light, just like a gradient. And just push that part. So any lines that I put down are getting blended in. And it sets it up with that piece. So now you can see the entire section. And again, you can use a straight edge to help you, but just kind of building that part up. The base tone is going to be your darkest value, and the cast shadow is going to go dark to light. So even if you blend over here, it's going to section off there. So all the lines that you may have put in, you're kind of losing them. Even on this highlight, just kind of lightly sketch it across any part on this side. And this part's going to be a reflected light, and the shadow is going to be just dark, closest the object is to the surface. Blend that across. And then kind of find that edge just with the value pattern right there. So see how you get on that.